Welcome to the video. Today I'm going to do a couple of things. Firstly, I'm going to respond to Richard McCook's thread, which is to show, I think it's 10 double pack 7-inch singles. Although I think I'm going to show all of mine, which I think goes to about 14 with a little bonus at the end. And also I'm going to show some finds that I acquired yesterday when I went on a road trip, which was about 160 miles all up with Gav Axman's Spins. So Gav over in the west side of Wolverhampton. So we went to Ludlow in Shropshire and Shrewsbury again in Shropshire. And both of us acquired a few bits of vinyl along the way. So I'll show some of that sort of stuff as well. Was there something else? No, I don't know. I can't remember. Doesn't matter. Anyway, first let's talk about 7-inch singles. Now these are my 7-inch singles. 5 boxes. I used to buy a lot of 7-inch singles back in the 70s and the 80s. A few from more recent years. I don't know why I bought them because I never play them. I don't play these very often at all, but I thought with Richard's little thread being launched, I thought, why don't I just go through these boxes and pick out the double packs and hopefully show some good ones. I'm tempted to say these are for sale, but you know what us record kind of collectors are like. We don't quite like to sell a little precious haul over the years. So I'll not talk about that. So let's just talk about these 7-inch singles, these double packs. So the first one is by the Fine Young Cannibals, and it's blue. It has, well, Roland Gift and David Steele, Andy Cox. Now, were they in the beat? I've just dropped one of the singles out of it. So that's blue on the floor, which is backed with Wade in the Water. So there you go. There's a second version of blue, hopefully not scratched, is backed with Love for Sale on the second one. So there you go. That's Fine Young Cannibals and blue. The second one is The House is Haunted by the great Mark Armand, he of Soft Cell. And this is... I've got a 12-inch single as well, which is kind of an EP, which might be the same one, but this has got the same tracks. But Mark did some fairly gothic type stuff. Oh my God, this is like sticky. Oh, there you go. There you go. House is Haunted. So what have we got on here? We've got The House is Haunted, side 2, Broken Bracelets. And on the second disc, Cara a Cara, which means face to face. It's got the translation in brackets helpfully here. And it's also got a medley on side 4, which is Unchain My Heart, Black Heart, and Take My Heart. And, you know, all these singles, back in the day, they came out in double packs because there were so many great singles bands. You know, after, you know, when punk came along around 76, 77 in the UK, what was tending to happen is that a lot of record buyers moved away from album acts, and buying a lot of singles, and there was an absolute explosion of brilliant singles and great new bands. Some of them sustained right until the present day, but some of them, quite a lot of them just disappeared. But record companies were desperate to try and get the money out of students and young people buying these singles, so they were throwing everything at it. I bought a single one time which came with a case for 7-inch singles. Other ones I've bought over the years came with a T-shirt. I mean, a free T-shirt for with a 7-inch single. Absolutely incredible. But anyway, that's Mark Armand. That's the second one. Third one from the mid-1980s. 84, is it? I can't tell. Doesn't really matter. But it's Prince and Girls and Boys and Under the Cherry Moon. So this is from the Under the Cherry Moon, the Parade album. But the second one has got a couple of brilliant tracks on it called She's Always in My Hair and 17 Days. Prince was always brilliant value for stuff like this. There you go. Oops, nearly lost another single there. So limited edition includes free single. There you go. So that's Prince. This one, 82? Yeah, 82. and it is The Cure, which is The Hanging Garden and 100 Years, from the Pornography album, and backed with, on the second disc, live version, A Forest and Killing an Arab. So yeah, great single, great period of the band, but they continue to do some fantastic things. They were recorded live in Manchester, it says here. Okay, number 4 is Lena Lovitch. Remember Lena Lovitch on Stiff Records? We've got here, what do we got here? What will I do with it? Let's have a look. Let's have a look, because the labeling on this single here is absolutely atrocious. So that's the single. So what have we got? We've got What Will I Do Without You? Written by Chris Judge Smith. Incredible. And Joan. Chris Judge Smith, he was associated with Van der Graaf Generator. Monkey Talk and The Night. Live versions, I think. Yeah, live tracks. Too Tender to Touch and You Can't Kill Me. So that's Lena Lovitch. Remember seeing her at Newcastle University back when a lot of stiff acts were doing the rounds. Yeah, great stuff. This one, have we got a date on this one? But this is after he left Ultravox. This is John Fox and No One Driving. So here we have a nice black and white picture of John there. So what have we got on here? We got No One Driving, of course, and Glimmer, both written by John Fox. And in the second single, we have This City and Mr. No. Nice labels. Virgin label there. So yeah, John Fox, continue to buy his music today. This is from a band called Kaja, which what was left of Kajagoogoo when Limahl left. And this is, I'm not even going to talk about these tracks, but the guy in the middle there, Nick Beggs, is a fairly well-respected bass player. He's played with Steve Hackett on stage. I've seen him there. So this was kind of less poppy, but I can't remember what it was like, really, to be honest. This one's more famous, and this is the Blow Monkeys. And we have here Wicked Ways. We got Wicked Ways, Walking the Blue Beat. And there's a version of Digging Your Scene, which is a famous single for them, and Atomic Lullaby on the second disc. This one was produced by Chaz Jankel. Chaz Jankel associated with Ian Dury and the Blockheads. How do you say this? Alberto y los Trios Paranoias. Heads down, no nonsense, mindless boogie. 2 for the price of 1. 75 pence. 75 pence. Yeah, I remember playing that a lot back in the day. It was really good. When I went and picked up Gav yesterday, he had an album in view, which was by this artist, well, at least this singer, and that's Maria McKee. But this is her with Lone Justice on the second album, Shelter. And we have here record 1, which is a single, I Found Love, produced by Little Steven and Jimmy Iovine, and it backed with If You Don't Like Rain. And the B-side, or the second disc, shall we say, is live versions of Sweet Jane, the Lou Reed song, and Don't Toss Us Away, which is kind of a famous song by Lone Justice. Great one here. This one was shown by Richard McCook as well, and this is Nick Lowe. What have we got here? We've got, let's just, again, the labeling's not brilliant, but we got My Heart Hurts, Pet You and Hold You. And on the second disc, come on Dave, get this out. Here we go, Cracking Up. And What's So Funny About Love, Peace and Understanding. Peace, Love and Understanding. By the great Nick Lowe. And I bought a record by Nick Lowe as well yesterday, so I'll get to those very shortly. This one is I Smelt Roses, Roses in the Underground, by a singer called John Watts. John Watts used to be the main songwriter and singer for a band called Fisher Z around 1982. And this was a kind of a solo project of his after the band split up. He explains a little bit about it in here. Fisher Zed's most famous single is called So Long, which is great. This one, I Smelt Roses, I Need Action, Your Fault, and Saravago. So there you go, John Watts. This one is a more famous single. This is Chris Rea, On the Beach, a special mix. And B-side, If Anybody Asks You. It's got the lyrics to On the Beach in there. And the second one, I haven't listened to this for years, so I don't know what it is, but it's just two sides of live performances from London's Hammersmith Odeon. So yeah, that's Chris Rea. Nearly done. And I've got two double singles here by a band that was on the Kitchenware label. And that band is called Hurrah. Now, the Kitchenware label was a record label from Newcastle upon Tyne, where I'm from. And we had bands like the Cane Gang, Hurrah, Prefab Sprout, Martin Stevenson and the Dainties on that label. Brilliant. The bands I've mentioned used to play gigs all around the northeast of England, and you'd sometimes get like matinee gigs or early evening gigs as in pubs and so on. So I saw the likes of Hurrah on a regular basis. They were really good. This is If Love Could Kill and Who'd Have Thought. No, Sweet Sanity, which is their most famous song, but a pretty obscure band, but high energy, good band. I really enjoyed them. Last one, kind of, and that's Immaterial and Ed's Funky Diner. There you go. Again, I think around about 1985, 86 or something like that. 86, I think. So Ed's Funky Diner, Only the Lonely. That's their song. It's not big famous. Only the Lonely. We'll Turn Things Upside Down as a traditional song, and a demo version of their most famous song, which is the great Driving Away from Home. And finally, this is not a double 7-inch, it's a triple, and it's the House Martins. So it's like a Christmas special. So what have we got here? I'll tell you what we've got. We've got Flag Day, we've got Sheep, and we've got Happy Hour. So suggested retail price of £3.49 for 8 tracks. So there you go. That's Richard McCook's suggestion of doing, showing some double 7-inch singles. Anyway, met Gav for the first time yesterday. Thought we'd have a day out together. Just kind of chew the fat on what it's like to be on YouTube and ideas for videos and just sharing some musical tastes. And I went into his house and it's absolutely rammed with great stuff. He's got the best box set collection I've ever seen. Amazing. He's got almost every box set imaginable, it seems to be. And his music room is stuffed to the gunnels, but in very great order, very perfect order. Fantastic set of vinyl and CD. So we had a really good day going down to Ludlow, which I might have mentioned, and then up to Shrewsbury. So, as I say, when I calculated how many miles I did yesterday, it was about 160 miles, but we had a great day. So this is what I picked up. He might show a video of what he picked up in due course, but we'll see that. So the first one I picked up yesterday was from Irish singer Glenn Hansard. Let me just move some of this stuff out so I can show you this. Glenn Hansard, and this album, this Wild Willing. Yeah. So this is still sealed, not opened that one yet, but I've heard him quite a bit. He's a really good singer, does some good versions. I think he sang with Bruce Springsteen live as well. This one is considered to be a bit of a classic neo-prog, and that's It Bites. So what have we got? What do we call this thing? It's famous cover, The Big Land in the Windmill. So there you go. So again, I've got that on CD, but I've not listened to it for a long time. But I thought I'd pick that one up. Got Strange Weather by the great Marianne Faithfull. Looks to me that this one has got lots of cover versions on it. Boulevard of Broken Dreams, I Ain't Going Down to the Well No More, Strange Weather. But anyway, that's Marianne Faithfull on a later album of hers. Nick Lowe, I mentioned him before, The Abominable Showman. This one will appeal to the French vinyl addict, and this is Strobes live at Queen Elizabeth Hall in London. This one still got the wrap on it from HMV 749. It was an actual import. So where was this one? Manufactured in Ontario. Ha! Canadian pressing as well, Romy. So there you go. Marion Faithful again. I picked this up in the market in Shrewsbury. Oh, by the way, there's a record shop. Where was it? Record shop in Ludlow. Absolutely superb. It's called Mod Lang. Yeah, Mod Lang. Great record shop. Fantastic layout. You get everything's categorized alphabetically and in genre, and you can flip through the all the cabinets are not overstuffed, boxes overstuffed. The racks, it's really, really good. A good time there. We had a less successful time up in Shrewsbury, but I did manage to pick up this. For some reason, I haven't got this one on vinyl. Broken English, classic. Got it on CD, but yeah, what a great album that is. This one from Mod Lang again. Rhiannon Giddens. I picked up a fairly cheap album of hers just a few months ago. Really like it, and this one was only £10, so I thought I'll definitely take a punt on that one. This one was a £15 double compilation by Guy Clark, which again from 2017. Again, I really like this country Americana type singer. Really good. This one I haven't got on vinyl. Picked this up for a tenner. Can't say whether it's absolutely in pristine condition. It looks pretty good, but I'm going to have to give this a really good clean. But yeah, there you go. So there we go. Stranger to Stranger, one of the later Paul Simon albums. And finally, we popped into HMV, and I bought another Marianne Faithfull album, Vagabond Ways, but that was only $9.99. So you got to take a punt on that one. And this has got appearances from Roger Waters, Emmylou Harris, and Daniel Lanois. So that should be interesting, atmospheric for certain. So there you go. Great day yesterday. Always nice to do a bit of shopping and hang out with somebody who, you know, you've got shared interest. It's probably the first time in about 30 years I've been out shopping for records with somebody who's equally enthusiastic. So yeah, great day yesterday. Great to see Gav. I will do it again soon. That's in our plans anyway. And of course, Richard McCook. Thanks, Richard, for setting up this little thread here. I hope some of those double 7-inch single examples there float your boat. All right, I'll see you on the next video, everyone. Thanks for watching this one. Bye-bye. Oh, I knew there was something else. I had my first ever VCLT yesterday. So Gav had bought me an album, or he gifted me an album, doesn't matter. And this is by this artist here called Mark Beasley. Now, and it's called Stateless. Now, I understand that Mark was the bass player in a band called Rothko. I've actually got a couple of Rothko CDs. And it's kind of this album. Let me not describe Rothko, but this album here is kind of soundtracky. A lot of very melodic bass playing with some orchestration, which is, I think, is orchestra stuff sampled. It was recorded and mastered at home. It's on clear vinyl, so you can see it here. So I've been playing that this morning, and it's very atmospheric. It's really good, really nice. So yeah, thanks to Gav, my first VCLT. How about that? We're in Ludlow shopping. What's this record shop called?
Mod Lang.
Mod Lang record shops. And we're starting with the cheap bins.
Cheap bins.
What's he got? He's got the Buzzcocks, Singles Going Steady, Bangles, everything.
And Sucking in the 70s, that's a tenner. Yeah.
Sucking in the 70s by the Stones for a tenner.